Good afternoon. I'm back. Today we'll be playing the second AP of the Mirkwood cycle, Conflict at the Carrock. It is a much more difficult quest than the Hunt for Gollum was, especially with a poorly optimized deck. You can get away with a lot of different decks in the Hunt for Gollum. Conflict at the Carrock needs a well-optimized deck because you have the challenge of defeating 4 trolls, which requires a lot of attack to break through their shields, especially in certain situations. But that's what this particular deck was designed for that we'll be playing. It is the same deck as the Hunt for Gollum. The Hunt for Gollum deck is here on the left. Conflict at the Carrock is here at the right. The one change is that I removed Westfold Horsebreaker ×3 and replaced it with Born Aloft ×3. Westfold Horsebreaker is not a bad card, but it's not a good one either. And I think Born Aloft is more powerful. And I think Westfold Horsebreaker was the most replaceable card in the deck. The others are more essential to the deck's design. This shouldn't say Frodo Baggins, it's Bilbo Baggins. I would love to include Frodo Baggins in this deck, or in a deck for this scenario. Unfortunately, he doesn't fit this scenario. The reason is this hero combination, Gimli is absolutely essential because he's going to be our main source of damage against the trolls. Eowyn is essential because of her questing ability. You have to have enough questing power to deal with the turn that the trolls come out, because they're going to, ideally about 3 of them are going to be in the staging area, and so it's going to be at least 6, probably 8, maybe 10 questing power against you. And if you sub Frodo in for Eowyn, you'll gain increased defensive abilities, but we have defensive abilities already in the deck with Forest Snare and Feint. And Frodo is not needed, and the questing power is. So Eowyn's got to stay. And Bilbo Baggins can't be subbed out for Frodo because we need a green hero, a lore hero. Because Forest Snare is very important for dealing with the trolls, since it prevents them from attacking. So, no way to play the new hero for this AP, Frodo Baggins, in this deck, unfortunately. And this is the best deck for dealing with this quest that I have found. There are other decks that can do it, none more efficiently in my opinion. That being said, you may still see a loss, we'll see. In my attempts on this quest with this deck, I found it very consistent. But you never know. A lot of stuff happens in this game, especially solo. So, introduction out of the way, let's get started. The setup for this quest is to shuffle 1 copy of Sacked into the deck per player. So that's just going to be 1, which I will shuffle into the encounter deck with Control-Shift-Q. The other 3 get placed out of play. The 4 trolls are out of play for now. They will enter into play once 1B is complete. And that's it for setup. The Carrock is in the staging area. It's going to sit in the staging area. It can't be cleared by player card effects. So Northern Tracker, not effective. It's just going to sit there until the quest deems that we shall travel there. So let's shuffle the decks. Get the hand. So in the core quests, I was always looking for Steward of Gondor. Now I am always looking for Song of Kings. Steward of Gondor doesn't do any good without Song of Kings. And it's a 2-card combo. I don't keep Steward of Gondor without Song of Kings. It's useless without Song of Kings. Song of Kings is not useless without Steward of Gondor. You can still get some use. So anytime I don't see Song of Kings, I'm mulliganing. There it is. No Steward of Gondor, but that's fine. We got the part 1A of the combo. Got the other part later, hopefully. One more thing to do in setup, which is flip this card over. It does not add any encounter cards to the staging area, which means this is kind of a slow burn quest. It's not. That's why we can get away with a hero like Bilbo Baggins, who's on the weaker side when it comes to defense, on the more useless side, I would say, except for his card draw abilities. With only 2 health, he can only take 1 attack of 3 and he's done. If he faces a 3 attack enemy, a bad shadow card kills him. So I would say that's on the weaker side, but we can get away with it in this quest because it starts slow. This questing deck starts slow. And it encourages the player to start slow too, because we need to build up our strength to take on these 4 trolls. So, 1 resource for each of the heroes. 2 cards drawn thanks to Bilbo's ability. He draws 1 additional card in the resource phase. If you don't want to buy the Hunt for Gollum, you want to play this deck but you don't want to buy the Hunt for Gollum, unfortunately the Song of Kings is essential to this deck. So you're going to need the Hunt for Gollum if you want to play this exact deck. If you don't particularly like Bilbo Baggins, you can easily swap in Barivor with no discernible. It's not going to make the deck worse, I don't think. In my opinion, Bilbo is better in this deck. I prefer the passive ability because it allows you to quest more often, I think, for 1 additional. And the 1 additional questing power is actually pretty important because we really want to control as precisely as possible when we complete this phase, because that will determine when the trolls come into play. And Bilbo's 1 questing power allows, in addition to Eowyn's ability to add a questing power, allows some pretty precise control over when we complete this quest, which is important. That's not really that much of a negative against Barivor, though. You can easily sub in Barivor if you prefer him, and might arguably be better in some situations. But I prefer Bilbo, personally. So, what do we got in the opening hand? We don't got anything that can be played on the first turn that's worth being played on the first turn. I usually hold Song of Kings in my hand until I have a need for it, because there's no reason to spend a resource on it right away. There's no benefit to getting it out quickly. And there is a benefit often to saving resources. Since we don't know what we're going to get off the deck, it might be something that needs to be played right away. And you don't want to have Song of Kings in play too early, because there's no need to do that. So I just hold it until I need it. All I'm going to do this phase is quest with Eowyn. I'm not holding these 2 heroes back because I think they'll be needed. I'm holding them back because I don't want to advance too quickly. I usually count on 2 questing power coming off the deck in the encounter phase, so ideally I'll get 4 against me and 4 from Eowyn and break even. I don't want to make progress until I'm set up. Set up meaning have the ability to take down the first troll at least safely, which typically means Citadel Plate on Gimli and some damage, or feints, forest snares, unexpected courages, that kind of thing, or perhaps sneak attack Gandalf with a Born Aloft as well. So that's what I'm looking for in terms of setup. I'm gonna drop cards pretty rapidly with Bilbo and then Gleowine next turn. So yeah. Anyway, 4 questing power against 4 location. Perfect. Gonna go ahead and move to that location, which actually allows me to spend leadership resources on anything I want to, which isn't super helpful, but it can be at times. You can get a hero like Faramir out earlier, or get a sneak attack Gandalf in if you really need it, before you get Song of Kings. You can even get Steward of Gondor out if you have that and don't have Song of Kings yet, when this is the active location. That's the first turn. That's it. As I said, this is a slow burn quest in the early stages. There's no reason to fret or go for a quick setup. So I draw 1 extra card with Bilbo, and I'm going to get out Gleowine and exhaust it. Gandalf's a good draw. We're now looking at Sneak Attack Gandalf, Born Aloft Gandalf for 3 plays of Gandalf, which is quite powerful in dealing with the trolls. Exhausted Gleowine. And do I want to get Unexpected Courage out, or do I want to save up for the Northern Tracker? There's no reason to get the Unexpected Courage out quickly unless an enemy comes down. I don't think I need to. Just going to do the same thing as last turn, quest with Eowyn. Now that I have a location, I will also quest with Bilbo. I don't want locations staying in the active. Don't want an active location. I don't want to advance the quest. I also don't want locations to stack up, so just as a general rule, I'll quest with Eowyn, plus whatever I think is necessary to clear the active location in the early stage of this quest. So, facing 2-4, questing power against. Questing power 4 is 5. Perfect, clears this location. Exactly according to plan. Can't move there yet. He's going to engage. I'm going to take this undefended because I want Gimli to take the damage. Ideally, he'll get a shadow card, which would give him 3 damage. 2 would be fine also, but let's see. The shadow card, defending character. There is no defending character. So, 2 undefended damage goes on Gimli. Now he can strike back for 4, which kills that orc. And exhaust Gimli. So that's the end of the turn. Draw an extra card with Bilbo. Exhaust Gleowine. Draw another card after that. I'm not going to play Winged Guardian this turn because I want to get Citadel Plate out first. Dunedain Warning is going to go on Bilbo most likely. I'd like to buff him as an extra defender to deal with these garbage pulls later. And it can be useful to put it on Gimli, but often it's too risky because I like to max out his damage at 4. And so I don't like to use Gimli as a defender after that unless you really have a lot of Dunedain Warnings. And if you have a lot of Dunedain Warnings, may as well put him on Bilbo so he has something to do. Often he doesn't have anything to do except draw cards. So I'm choosing not to play anything this turn, even though I have things that are good that I can play because I want to get out the most expensive things first. So this turn it's just going to be questing with Eowyn. Not questing with Bilbo this turn since there's no active location to clear. Surge card. So that's 5 against, which is going to add 1 threat unless I choose to discard a card with Eowyn, which I will do since I have an extra Song of Kings that is not generally needed. So I'll break even after discarding Song of Kings. And I will move to this river location, and this will engage, and I will take his damage undefended, which is a little risky. It's risky. Don't think there's a reason to take that risk, so I won't take it undefended. I'll just have Bilbo. I'll have Bilbo take it. So it does nothing. 2 attack to 2 damage. And then Gimli will take down that orc. End of turn. Now we have Sneak Attack Gandalf, Born Aloft Gandalf. And I still get to draw another card with Bilbo. Another Unexpected Courage. So this setup is going quite well. Steward of Gondor would make it much better, but we're in no rush whatsoever. The only thing I need now to complete the setup really is threat reduction, because we're going to get up to 34 and you want to be... Ideally, you'd like to be at around 30 or lower when you engage the trolls, which usually requires at least 1 Unexpected Courage to come. But I'm not worried about that because we got Sneak Attack Gandalf, Born Aloft Gandalf, and all of that can be used on, well, at least 1 or 2 of them can be used on threat reduction. So no problems. Gonna exhaust Gleowine, draw another card, Quick Strike, that's good with the Unexpected Courages. And we're going to get out the Northern Tracker, which at the moment is primarily going to be used for his attack power. He's not going to be questing much. Unless a location comes out or a location lock becomes a threat. So, Gimli spent his 4 resources on the Citadel Plate. That's all I'm going to do this turn. In terms of playing cards, we're going to quest. And this turn I am going to quest with both Bilbo and the Northern Tracker in order to try to clear that location. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against the 4, 5, 6. Make 1 progress. Without the Northern Trackers in this deck, location lock can become a pretty big problem because you're slow playing the first turn and the first phase, and so this stuff builds up. It can build up, and it's a location heavy encounter deck, not a creature heavy encounter deck. They didn't want to stack creatures on top of you in addition to the trolls. Anyway, that's the end of this turn. Next turn, draw an additional card with Bilbo. Not drawing Steward of Gondor, which would be nice. Gleowine, still not drawing it. So, same as last turn. Requesting, we're adding a progress with the Northern Tracker. Requesting, and requesting. If a creature comes, I'm going to take it undefended on Gimli. Probably should have done that last turn as well. When revealed, each player raises his threat by a total of all cards in the staging area, which is 1, 2, 3. Then this is discarded. A creature discard could stop that threat. Do I want to do that? I think not. The reason to stop the threat is to prevent troll attacks too early. These dudes can also deal with troll attacks, and they have other uses, so I'll let the threat happen. I may regret that. Well, I may regret that. Could I cancel it with a test of will? Yeah, I think that's a better option. I'm gonna cancel this when revealed with a test of will and 1 resource on Eowyn. I do need those spirit resources a lot. That'd be the reason not to do it, because I got 2 unexpected courages to play. That's 4 turns. 4 turns, 3 threat. I'm not worried about using this. Or discard the creature. I think I actually value the 1 resource on Eowyn more than I value this creature. Given the hand I have. What's the 1 resource on Eowyn worth? It's worth 1 extra turn before I'm ready to take on the trolls. This doesn't buy me a turn. So that's what I'm going to do. Keep the resource on Eowyn. Goodbye, creature. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 progress. 1, 2, 3. Gone. Moving there. It's going to mean 1 additional threat per turn. Do I want to do that? Given that I don't have threat reduction left and the scarcity of spirit resources, threat is a very precious commodity at the moment. But I do have a lot of plays of Gandalf, so I think it's okay. That's the end of that turn. Draw an extra card with Bilbo. Draw an extra card with Gleowine. 4 Snare is a good draw. I don't really have anything to spend lore resources on except for a Snare. It will be available. Now, I'm going to need resources on Gimli for Quick Strike. I'm going to need resources Gonna play one of the Unexpected Courages on Gimli. I'm gonna play Winged Guardian. That's all. Gonna quest with Eowyn. Should have added an extra threat for the location. Gonna quest with Gimli. 1, 2, 3 to 6. 3 clears that location. Not really happy to see that one come out, but what can you do? It's all for that turn. Draw an extra card with Bilbo. Draw an extra card with Gleowine. Halfway through the deck now and still no Steward of Gondor. Yeah, it happens. Do I want to play anything this turn? I don't think so. Quest with Eowyn. Quest with everybody, actually. Because that's not going to be making progress on the quest this turn. When revealed, raise threat by total, which is 2. Okay. Well, I'd rather have that canceled than the 2 threat, so. We got 2, 6, 7, 8 to 2. 6 progress. Clears that location. As you can see, you can really take this early phase as slow as you want. The only concern is the threat buildup, which will likely be dealt with using Gandalf. Draw an extra card with Bilbo. Draw a card with Gleowine. And not gonna play anything. Just gonna quest with Eowyn. We've now got 3 sneak attacks in Gandalf. I'm about ready to engage the trolls, honestly, with this setup. Yep. I'm about ready. At this point, I'd probably put Song of Kings on Bilbo. Usually I'd put it on Gimli to generate resources for the Citadel Plates. But Bilbo's got a lot of extra ones, and Gimli doesn't. And I need to play Feints, Quick Strikes, Sneak Attacks. The Sneak Attacks primarily are what I'm thinking about. So I could use Gimli's resources for Feint and Quick Strike, and Bilbo's for the Sneak Attacks. So anyway, questing with Eowyn, and just Eowyn. 4 to 4, break even. This guy's going to engage. Gonna have Gimli take it. Whoops, just one of those. Do I need put the other one back? Shadow card, defending character gets -1. I should have had that be undefended. It's just going to be 1 damage. Whoops, wasn't thinking for a second. Doesn't matter. Gimli strikes back. Destroys that orc. And we're readying up. There's Steward of Gondor. So let's get Song of Kings out. Using one of Bilbo's resources. It's a neutral card, so you can use anybody's to pay for it. Let's get Steward out for 2. Let's exhaust, gain 2. Okay, I was going to push ahead with the quest this turn. Play another unexpected. Just gonna make sure that's lined up. For 2, and I'm going to exhaust Gleowine to draw. Oh, so they were together. That's nice. Yeah, I think it's fine to push ahead now. I'd like to see one more forest snare, but that's just greedy. I have so many ways to deal with these trolls now. Threat reduction is what I'd like, but yeah, so basically my plan is to engage these trolls during the quest phase. Right now I can drop threat. I think I'll use Gandalf to push through the quest. So I'm going to sneak attack and play Gandalf and lower threat by 5. And plan on lowering threat again by 5 next turn. I usually like to use Gandalf's damage for the troll to take down the trolls, but I have so many plays of Gandalf right now with 2 more sneak attacks and a Born Aloft that Gandalf's going to be out every turn for the rest of the game, I think. So let's push through to phase 2. 4, 5, and one of the unexpected courages. So the card is 2, 4 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As soon as the 7th token is placed, this becomes the active location. That completes the quest. That brings in the trolls. When revealed, place the unique troll cards previously set aside into the staging area. And I am going to engage one of these trolls optionally. I'm at 33, so I'm not going to have to engage all of them. This one is the easiest to take out first. So I'm engaging him. He has 4 attack, plus 1 from the active location. It's going to go on Gimli. There's no reason to need to sacrifice the Winged Guardian here, because I actually want to put more damage on Gimli, because he currently has 9 HP and only 3 damage tokens. So, shadow card. If attacking enemy is a troll, remove 2 damage tokens from it. He doesn't have any damage on him yet. Gimli taking the defense exhausts one of these unexpected courages. So 5 damage to 2 shields is an additional 3 damage tokens on Gimli. He has 9 HP and 6 damage. He's fine. He can now strike back for 8 damage. This troll has 3 shields, so that's 5 tokens exhausting Gimli. Gandalf will come back to hand. Refresh. Draw a card with Bilbo. Draw a card with Gleowine. And we're going to think for a moment about at the end of the combat phase, this sniper deals a damage. I didn't place it because I knew I was just going to place it on Gandalf, so he took the damage and then he left. So, a couple of things you have to think about in these early turns against the trolls. First of all, you need to think about how much questing power is against you. 2, 4, 6, 8. I can probably count on 10 questing power against me, so I need to engage with those guys at least. That's 5. I have 2 options. I can try to mitigate threat as much as possible, or I can just accept that all the trolls are going to come in. I can quick strike for 8 right now. I can exhaust Steward for 2 more resources. I'm going to quick strike right now. If I wait, because I'm thinking I might be engaging all 3 of these trolls this turn. One of the attacks would go on Winged Guardian, one would go on Gandalf, and one would go on Northern Tracker. I quick strike, or I could feint one of them. I have a feint somewhere in here, right? Yeah, there it is. I could feint one of them. I could quick strike one of them immediately to kill it with 2 quick strikes. So that would only be 1 attack remaining, and it would attack the Winged Guardian and kill it. So I'm thinking I don't really need to worry about questing too much. I'll just eat the threat, the trolls will engage, and I'll be able to deal with them. So that means I don't need to worry about using Gandalf's ability for threat too much. I can use it for damage if I want. It's kind of an awkward value though with 4. Means maybe Bilbo in a future turn will team up to take down a troll. So anyway, right now I'm going to quick strike for 1 resource, which uses one of the unexpected courages. It's going to deal 8 damage to 3 shields. It's 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he is dead. By the way, his forced ability didn't proc because there's no sacks in the discard pile. I didn't need to check to know that. Rupert's done. Quick Strike's done. And now, questing. I committed Eowyn, Bilbo, for 5. Probably going to take 5 threat if I do that. Commit Northern Tracker as well. Probably throw away a card. See what comes off the deck. Oh, that's fun. Sure, why not? Well, that changes things a bit. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7. I take 2 threat. 1, 2. So the sneak attack Gandalf will need to reduce my threat. Because now there's an additional troll. In he comes, that's not optional. And in he comes optionally. I will have, he's gonna do 7 attack. I will quick strike, first quick strike, unexpected courage, exhausts, and 1 resource to pay for it. 5 damage from Gimli to Morris. Second quick strike, 1 more resource. Gimli exhausts, that's all he can do this turn. 5 damage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it for Morris. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 to 4, 5, 6, 7. I needed to add 2 threat, which I forgot to do. Okay, so now we have this hill troll left. I can only optionally engage 1 enemy per turn. Theoretically, I probably could have taken on another troll as well, but this hill troll I'm going to have attack Gandalf. It's 6 to 4 is 2 damage. The quick strikes were done at the end of the quest phase, so that was before combat. That's why that troll was killed then, because quick strikes are in action. That's it for the hill troll's attack, and that's it for Gandalf's defense, and there's nothing else I can do. So, I still have 2 forest snares with enough resources to pay for them, a feint, another sneak attack Gandalf, and multiple born alofts to put on Gandalf. Looking good. Looking very good. End of the turn. So we're gonna exhaust Steward. Gonna play a forest snare. At the resource phase, I drew another with Bilbo. I got ahead of myself a little bit. It's not a necessary card to do. Exhaust Gleowine. I might have forgotten that last turn, I'm not sure. Can't play that this turn because I don't have enough resources for it, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to play Gandalf and Born Aloft. It's an attachment which you use as an action when Gandalf leaves play. Or you use it as an action before Gandalf leaves play. So I need 5 resources to pay for Gandalf. I'll go 1, 2, 3, leaving enough to pay for Forest Snare next turn. 4, 5. That pays for Gandalf. Gonna lower threat by 5. I'm going to... What else do I want to do? I don't think I need another Unexpected Courage on Gimli. I might need a Test of Will. Yeah, by the way, this sniper's damage went on Gandalf again last turn. He had 2 health. That put him at 3, so that was fine. Doing things a little out of order, sorry. Prefer to do it cleanly. Let's go ahead and not play the Unexpected Courage this turn. By the way, if you're wondering what would have happened if I had not corrected that and drawn an extra card with Bilbo slightly out of turn, I would have just drawn it with Gleowine, and I wouldn't have that in hand now, which wouldn't matter. We'll go ahead and play the Unexpected Courage on Eowyn. I'm just thinking about whether or not I would need the resources for Galadhrims Greeting next turn. Don't think I will, because I have so many plays of Gandalf. So, yep. Now I can quest with Eowyn, quest with Bilbo, quest with Northern Tracker. I've got 8 against, 4, 5, 6. Sure, I'll eat the threat, whatever it is. 2, 4, 6, 7 to 4, 5, 6. And I'll discard this extra to break even. So now I will optionally engage the defense troll, who's probably the hardest one to deal with while the Carrock is active because he has 4 shields. He will attack. Let's see, Gimli does 8 to 4, so it's 4, 8, 12. Sure. Gandalf, this is why you're here, to take troll attacks. 5 damage. No shadow. Does 1. Now, Gimli attack number 1. Exhaust Unexpected Courage. It's 8 to 4 shields. 2 base. 1 for his ability. 1 for the Carrock. It's 4 damage. Gimli attacks again. Exhausting Unexpected Courage to ready up again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third Unexpected Courage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goodbye, Steward. Gimli still has an attack left. 8 damage to 4 shields. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not? End of combat phase. Goblin Sniper does a damage to Gandalf. After that, I will proc Born Aloft, discarding it to return Gandalf to hand. And ready up, drawing another card with Bilbo. Drawing another card with Gleowine. There's another copy of Born Aloft. We're going to proc Steward of Gondor. 2 extra resources. Never even used the Feint. Still have another forest snare. Gonna go ahead and sneak attack Gandalf in. Just 1 resource. Gonna use his damage to kill that sniper just because he's annoying. It's not the best play, but at this point it's just mop up. It doesn't matter. Let's quest. Just gonna go ahead and send Gandalf. And I'm gonna go ahead and do I want to send Gimli as well? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nah. Nah. Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4 against to 10. 6 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That clears the Carrock. Go ahead and discard Gleowine for Eowyn's ability to add 1 additional progress. So it will clear the, so we'll win the game this turn. We're forced to move there. It doesn't matter. In comes this hill troll in the engagement phase. We'll just go ahead and feint his attack. So Gimli strikes for 8 against 2 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhausting and unexpected courage. Gimli strikes again for 8 for damage. And that kills Lewis, and that is the end of the quest. When players cannot defeat this stage if there are any troll enemies in play. Oh, there's still one troll enemy in play. I thought it was just the unique trolls. Doesn't end the game. So Gimli used 2 attacks. Gimli, keep going, boy. 8 to 3 is 5 damage. And use his last action for another 5. Done. Now there are no troll enemies in play, and there is 1 progress on this quest, which means it completes immediately and ends the game, as there are no more stages to complete. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully you can see how powerful this deck is against this quest. It's well optimized for it. And you will find it very consistent against this quest. Take care.